Okay, what we have behind us right here, as you can see, is a wall, a stone wall. So what's so specific about this stone wall that makes any stone wall different? Well, basically, this is, except for the mortar on the side to keep the serpentine from deteriorating, this is exactly what the defensive line was during the Battle of Brandywine in the late afternoon of September 11th, 1777. There would have been from all the way down at the end to all the way up here where I'm standing. There would have been Virginia Continentals all up this wall. Now, basically during 1777, the weapons that were used were flintlock or firelock muskets, as they were called. A lot of our militia and a lot of the Continentals had their own weapons. They actually brought them from home. They were fowler pieces, they were smooth bores, used to hunt for their own families. There would be a couple taken during maybe the Battle of Trenton. A lot of these weapons were British weapons. But basically, what they would do, they would stick them. As you can see, all these rocks here. They'd stick their muskets over these rocks. And guess what they saw? They saw the whole line of the British Army advancing towards them. Now, you got about 1,000 people lined up here. 1,000 people. You got guns behind you. You got Continentals retreating from Street Road and Birmingham, where we just were, to retreat to this area. And they're running past you. They're retreating. Either wounded, shot, or without weapons, because basically they might have dropped their weapons. And now you have another line, the line at Birmingham Meeting House. So basically you got Virginians retreating, and you got people standing here waiting for the British onslaught. So basically, there's a really major battle that happens here. You got the line, and you got in back of us, you'll see a wall also. Now these walls were here. This is exactly what it would look like without the trees. Now, we're on top of a ridge right now. And basically, as far as I can see, over this wall is about 300 yards. Now 300 yards is, I can't fire that far with a musket and hit anybody. So before I even see these people, I have to be ready to fire my gun at them coming from Street Road. So basically I can see about 100 yards in front of me. So the first thing that I'm going to see if I'm a Continental standing by this wall is I'm going to see redcoats and hats and heads come over this ridge. And when that happens, you know that all hell's going to break loose, because right in back of me, I'll pan over there, is the British knew that there was defense here. They knew that the Continentals had moved from Street Road to this position here. So basically what they wanted to do is outflank. Outflanking maneuver means to get in back of your enemy and destroy him. So probably around 1,000 redcoats, that was the main army at the time, were advancing on this position. And I could just imagine, being me, just imagine all these Continentals lined up here. Now, another little small tidbit also is where I'm standing, just about to my right, just about 50 feet away, is a mass grave of British and American soldiers that were buried here. After the battle, a lot of wounded, like I was saying, were taken into the Birmingham Meeting House and taken care of, but unfortunately they perished. So basically during that time, they just buried you where you died. I mean, some of the Continentals, the British didn't even care about the Continental bodies. After the battle, there was many rumors about these Quakers. After the battle, burying the dead. Farmers coming out didn't want the bodies on their farms, just burying them where they died. But this mass grave here, actually to my right, is probably most likely officers and some enlisted men, but people that died. I mean, died here. And just looking at it, there's probably about maybe 300-400 people buried to my right. So basically, okay, we're going to get back to the battle here. This is the Birmingham Lafayette Cemetery in front of me. This cemetery in front of me right here was not here. Now it's just basically a cemetery from the 1880s to about, to the present. I'm going to pan the camera and I'll show you that. again, what we see is, you know, just basically a cemetery in front of me. But I wanted to take a look over, as you can see, you can't see very far. You can't see that ridge very far. I would say about 100 yards. So I'm standing here. This is me. I'm standing here, and I got a rifle in my hand, and I'm waiting for the onslaught of this British Army to come over that ridge. And boy, I'll tell you, it must have been hell. Must have been real hell. But I'm going to pan over and I'm going to show you where the flanking maneuver would have been by the British Army. Gonna try to get in the shot a little better. This is actually one of the defensive walls I was talking about. You see a white structure over there, just a little bit further, I would say about 300 yards. You'll see a white structure over there. Basically, that was not protected. I think that most likely the Continental Line pretty much ended right here. From this direction on, the line extended at least a half a mile. Actually towards Birmingham Meeting House, which is here. This would be the end of the line. This would have been the far right of the line. Now, most of our troops were just here at the meeting house, all up and down this wall right here. So this was all unprotected area. So basically, the British that were coming over here saw that. They said, we're not going to charge these walls. Why should we charge the walls, get shot at, and be killed? So a lot of the British Light Infantry. Now, the British Light Infantry was a unique division. They were the first divisions to come up Street Road, or Birmingham Road to Street Road. Now, these guys, man, they really knew how to fight. They had short coats. A lot of the British coats were decorative. They had buttons on them. They were red. I mean, you know, today you would look at them and you could spot them a mile away. But the British Light Infantry that first arrived here had short coats. They had coats that came up to their waist so they could move. And also they didn't carry a lot of gear, basically a bayonet, cartridge box, rifle, and basically a hat, and that was it. You know, they didn't really carry too much. They wanted to move quickly. Now what they did, the British Light Infantry came around here. They outflanked the Americans here. And they came over there. And during this time, I mean, you got guys lined up here shooting. You guys got where I was just at. They're shooting this way. And right where that smoke is, you could just see the British outflanking you. Now, what are you going to do if you see the British outflanking you and you got people coming at you head on? You're going to shoot the hell out of them. You're going to try to stand here as long as you can and hope that your line holds.